Right. Sitting here with Aussie Pro Luke McKenzie. Luke, first of all, mate, I want to talk about, I suppose, a change in training bases. You're in San Diego now. Talk us through that and, how your preparation has been for this race.
Yeah, lots of changes this year, Tim. I've got to the point where, I was training under Siri Lindley for the last couple of years, and after a pretty average summer here in Australia, unfortunately, sort of just had to part ways with her. Very good, departure there. Have a lot of respect and love for Siri, but at the same time, I just wasn't the athlete that. I wasn't heading in the right direction that I wanted to be going, and I've gone back to doing a lot of the stuff that I feel worked for me, that got me Ironman titles, that put me in positions to win races, and so I'm really enjoying getting back into that sort of style of training. Moving back to San Diego was one of the big decisions I made, and I enjoy it there. I love, the people that are around San Diego are very supportive, and it's the original hub of triathlon. So I think it's very inspiring place to be, and the training's really good, and I just love living near the coast as well. So I think just having the beach across the road, I just feel a bit more homely. Feels like Noosa for me, my home away from home. So it's been a lot of changes in my life recently, but I think ultimately all for the better.
And I want to take you back to this time last year. You probably shouldn't have even started the race this time last year with your back. How is your back now, and 12 months on, and I suppose how important as a confidence booster that race was when you picked up the podium behind PJ?
Yeah, this time last year, everything was just in shambles. I did Ironman Melbourne and injured my back, and it was just this ongoing thing that went for months on end, and I just never seemed to come out of it. And I love racing, and I think it was hard for me to give it up here last year. I really wanted to race the Ironman, obviously, and I said, screw it, let's just go and do the 70.3 and see what happens. And to tell you the truth, when I came off the bike, I think I was back in 8th spot, and I just thought, oh, here we go again. It's going to be a shocker of a day. But from somewhere, I think maybe just years of experience, I don't know what it was. I just, something clicked. I ran okay, my back was fine. It took a little while after that still to sort of get back to 100%, but it's just been something that I really want to put behind me now. I feel like, excuse me, I haven't had any issues at all, and it's just something that I think a lot of athletes go through in their career. You have your little patches where you do come across an injury that just won't go away, and I think it's how you deal with it ultimately. I think I've come out of it the other side, stronger for it, and I've really put it in the back of my mind now. I'm just really focused on getting back to business and trying to win races.
It's interesting that you mentioned winning races. It has been, let's be honest, it's been a break for you from winning. It's there's no secret. It's been a while since your last Ironman win. A win on Sunday, what would it do for you and in your season, and just for Luke McKenzie in general?
To tell you the truth, I feel like it's been a long time where I've come into a race where I could, say to myself, I can win this. And I think, I've had the preparation over the last 3 months, doing my own work, where I feel like I'm in that shape where I can come here and be really confident. I understand that Macca and Brownie and, you got guys like Clado coming up here, but when I look at the work I've done and I know what I'm capable of, I really honestly think that I'm in a good position to try and win it. And, it just comes down to how the day unfolds, personally, I just really got to, do everything right, race smart. I think, I have a tendency to get very carried away with, the style of racing that I try and adopt it's a tough way to try and win a race, but I feel like, I'm sort of starting to wrap my head around how it can be done, and what it requires to be done to do it. And so I feel the training that I've put together in the last 3 months, and especially probably the last 6 weeks, I've just been at that point where I feel really, really confident coming into this race, and every session has just clicked. And so I'm excited coming into this race, and it's been, I have to admit, it's been a while since I've felt that way.
You mentioned the style of racing, and you also mentioned in the press conference earlier that you're excited about racing with Clayton, because it may aid your style and your plan of attack, so to speak, in getting up the road. And and trying to really put the hurt on, I suppose, during the bike and take the race, almost out of the hands of some of the the big runners like Macca and Brownie.
Yeah, Clayton's showed that he's a very strong swim biker, and he's really improving on his run. I was impressed with the way he raced on the weekend up at the Coral Coast. He's in really good form, and I enjoy seeing guys like Clayton come through in the sport because I feel, that's how I've always tried to race, and it's exciting to see that there's other guys out there that really want to take the bull by the horns and try and win races that way. And it's exciting that we get to race together because we actually don't get to do it that often. Our schedules never really cross paths that much, and I really enjoyed training with him recently over in San Diego. I think he's a great kid, and I'm just really looking forward to seeing where we are at, and I think Macca and Brownie are obviously very seasoned campaigners, and they're going to be tough to beat. But I think if we can take the race, away early, I think it's going to be to our advantage for sure.
For your long-term Kona ambitions, a big result and a podium finish is very important from a points perspective on Sunday, because where it stands at the moment, after some okay results recently, but obviously not your best performances in over in Mexico and these sort of places, how important is, I suppose, a high point scoring like a podium finish for you to get to Kona?
So yeah, I'm in a very different position to last year. I didn't really need to race an Ironman as so much as just get around one last year off the top 10 in Kona the previous year. But I think, I've come into this race knowing what I need to do. I need to get on the podium to secure that Kona spot, and if not, I'm going to have to race another Ironman. It's as simple as that. And whether I have to do that or not, it's I'm prepared to do it. But at the same time, I'd really like to lock it in here on Sunday. I think that would really open up my season and give me the opportunity to do other things like maybe the High V or the Las Vegas 70.3 Worlds. Excuse me. But it's just how it is these days with the Kona qualifying. You just never really know until the final qualifying period's up. So I'll be just going out there. I think if I go out there and try and get myself on the podium, then I think the points will take care of itself, and I'll qualify for Kona.
The whole Kona Pro rankings, it's been around for a while now. As a professional group and as a professional yourself, are you happy with it? Is it, are there areas that you could like to see it improve? Obviously, a lot of guys, knowing that you've qualified in August, it seems very late to, for the pro rankings here to be ending in August with an Ironman, 2.5 months later.
I think that may be the frustrating thing about it, is you can't really plan your year. And like I said, if things don't go well for me here, then obviously I'm going to have to look at doing another Ironman, which, I started Ironman, I started Carbo this year, and it just didn't go to plan. I just pulled the pin on it. I wasn't prepared to go around and have another subpar result, and I knew that straight away I needed to focus on something like Cairns. And I think that's what you're going to have to do these days, is just be more adaptable. I got myself around Cozumel because you need that validation race, and I think that's what we've been forced to do now, is sort of, if things don't go well, you still have to get yourself around an Ironman just to make sure you've got that validation in your pocket. But I don't really like to race like that either. You don't want to put in subpar results, but I think the system is sort of forcing athletes to do that these days, which I'm not really agreeing with. But everyone's in the same boat. You can't complain. If you race well, you're going to have to race less, and good on you. So I think it goes both ways.
Definitely. Well, Luke, best of luck on Sunday, and thank you for giving us your insights and your thoughts. And we wish you all the best, mate.